Welcome into One-on-One with Fatch. He, of course, is Fatch. I am Bob Karskad. We missed a week.
We did miss a week.
I'm really glad I'm back in town. I'm glad I get to see and hang out a little.
All right.
I miss you when I'm gone. It's very sad.
I miss you. Not doing this every week throws me off balance.
It's like there's something is missing in my life. I don't know what it is. Well, we got a lot to talk about, and I want to talk a little bit recruiting with you.
Okay.
As we get to the end of the show. But before we do that, let's look back at what's happened and what's coming ahead. Came off a tough match against Tennessee this weekend. I know probably a frustrating one for the team.
Very frustrating. I know some of the kids didn't sleep that well that night. I know of a couple of players that were up all night. You know, we first of all, hats off to Tennessee. They kept playing and made some adjustments. But if we could, I wish we could just talk about the first two games.
Those two were great, yeah.
And the first third of the third game, we're up 10-2 in the third game after winning the first two matches and let it slip away. So that's a tough one. But hats off to Tennessee. We learned some lessons from that match, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to learn from our mistakes and learn from our rough outings, and I think our kids did.
Well, and certainly with a young team, you're going to end up having those opportunities, but you want to make them teachable moments. And
absolutely. Going
forward, you know, no SEC games this weekend. You play Troy on Monday at Troy, and then the following weekend back in SEC action. What can you do in this sort of, not break time, but out of conference time for about almost 2 weeks here to sort of take the lessons you got from that?
Well, you want to give the kids, we wanted to give our kids a little bit of a mental break, not too much. We want to give them a little physical break, but not too much. You know, you have to keep your touches. It's like great golfers, you know. They win a tournament on Sunday and they're out on the driving range on Monday. They got to keep that feel. Volleyball's the same way. We got to keep our touches. So we're back on the court today, and we're just trying to get better. And like I say, learn from our mistakes. I think we'll keep getting better.
Well, good. Speaking of getting better, recruiting is something I want to talk to you about. We can't talk specifics, obviously, so
sure.
I won't lead you down any roads that are going to get you in trouble. But it sounds like things are going well. I just kind of want to know more about the process of it, you know, and sort of how you find players, what you do when you bring people to campus.
Okay.
What's that whole process like for you?
Well, finding players, there are thousands of players. There's a million players, but you have to figure out what your needs are, figure out your needs for each class, and then kind of make a list. And we have, 15 different lists. And then communicate sometimes with the coaches, sometimes with the club directors of the kids. And then we got to talk to the kids. We have to tell them the great things about Mississippi State. And I really think that there are some fantastic things about Mississippi State. And the recruits that we do have committed, when they come here, they love it here. The people are embracing. The athletic department staff is the best. The fellow coaches are fantastic. And it's interesting because I just texted Mr. Strickland about 30 minutes ago about the game day atmosphere.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I'm not the youngest coach around. That's the best game day atmosphere and experience I've ever seen.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that because when you're able to bring people and take them to a football game like that and show how passionate Mississippi State fans are and something just, it was electric.
It was incredible.
What kind of impact can that have on someone who's thinking about coming here?
It has a big impact. You know, I think the SEC overall is the best sports conference in my opinion. And when you combine that with the path that we're on volleyball-wise, with our incredible facility that I think ultimately is going to be one of the top 10 in the nation once we get through with all the renovations, you know, that's a fantastic combination. And I think when kids see that combination, Mississippi State definitely becomes an option for them.
I'd say as coaches, recruiting can be, I think, probably a lot of fun, B, very stressful, and C, very busy. You know, we like to imagine that you're always either at a game or at practice or just sitting there looking at a computer going through stats or something. But there's a lot of travel involved. I mean, you can hit multiple states in a couple days before you even realize it.
Sure, it is. It's nonstop. One of my best friends back in Central Arkansas, he's got a great saying, and it's true. He says, "Recruiting is like shaving. You do it every day, or you look like a bum." We have to hit it hard, and you know, we're definitely behind relative to other folks in the conference, and they've got their recruiting pipelines and stuff like that. We're trying to develop that. We're working really hard. We don't want to look like bums.
We're good. Yeah, you look great to me. I think.
All right.
Now, like I said, hey, on an upward trajectory. So
yes.
You got something to work with there. Well, Coach, enjoyed it as always. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us one-on-one on Fatch. It's been a blast.
No more weeks off.
None.
Okay.